Hi, I will show you now how to work with the data arena, which is the center point for settings for our forecasting engine. And it does those settings on a SKU level. Now, it is a very complex setting mechanism, so please take your time and go with me to look at all the use cases available. Now, first of all, you need to define and tell us which SKUs you would like to set up. Now, you choose from the filters any sort of filter that will filter out your SKUs that you want, right? So let's say I want to look at SKUs coming from one warehouse. I would just click that, select the warehouse of my need, right? Now, I'm just going to look at all visible SKUs for the sake of showing you everything to give you an understanding how the edit arena works. So I'm just going to go visible, say yes, and this will show me all items that we use for forecasting and all of them that are visible to us. Right. So you over here you see that the applied filter is this, and you have a huge list of SKUs that we have over here. Now you would see that there's the product, there's the product ID, the supplier, the location. Now, because of this, each product can be represented several times. If you have one SKU that's represented in several warehouses, you would have that as several lines over here. So you see over here, product 111, 111, 111, still the same product, but the locations differ over here, right? So you can do a bulk setting for the product as a whole, or you can do a setting for each location alone. Now you can assign a parent warehouse, which is much easier in the warehouse settings, but if you would like to do a SKU level setting, that's possible. You can do minimum order quantity, and you can do packing. Now, before I go any further, let me just explain how this for all works, right? Now, if I would change the MOQ on product 111 at location 14 like so, I would do MOQ of, let's say, 200, right? So now I've set up the minimum order quantity for that SKU for 200. But considering the possibilities, I would want to set up an MOQ of 200 for more products. I can just filter out the product 111 and set away for everything. Hold on, just let me do that. So I'm just going to filter out the product containing 111. There you go. So I have a list of products that contain 111. So I added also the 3s and 8s. And I'm just going to set the MOQ for all of them for 200. So I'm going to use the for all rule. Now the for all rule always works for whatever you have filtered. So I'm just going to click it and I'm going to change everything. Now, before I do that, I also have a possibility to create a rule out of this. Now, the rule is saying that all of the products that contain 111 will have an MOQ of 200, but not even that. Even all future products that might appear in the system will apply this rule, right? So let's just say I'm gonna create a rule out of this. I'm just gonna call it 111 products MOQ is 200. So I remember what the rule was about. I'm just going to confirm it. Now you will see that it will change the MOQ for all of the products that contain 111 to 200. And it also created a rule. You see that we have applied rules. We have one over here and the rule is over here. I can later on go back to that rule and delete it if I don't need it anymore. Right, so that's the basis of how you set up most bulk changes over here in the edit arenas with the for all. It applies to everything that's filtered. Use the above filters to filter what you need. Use the for all settings for any sort of variable you need to set up, and use the rules to take those settings even to the future for products that are not listed right now. Okay. Now, let's look at the other variables you can do. Now, packing defines your products, how they're packed if you're purchasing them. So your supplier might tell you, hey, you can only order packs of 10. So you can order 10 products or 20 or 30. So that's packing, right? It tells us how the PO should be divided by. Now, if order is clicked, that means that we're considering this SKU for purchasing, right? If I unclick it, I take it out from purchasing. So this is a typical use case. If you don't want us to order something, or if you're discontinuing a product, you just unclick it. Unclicking visible takes it completely out from the system. Not only that we're not going to order it, we're not even going to forecast it. We're just going to neglect that item altogether. Setting up minimum inventory and maximum inventory is just a side feature because this is something that we calculate for you, but for whatever reason you might need to set that parameter, it's available for you. Expiration days would define the expiration, not batches, but just the expiration of the goods. Purchase period and lead time. Now, you will see that purchase order period and lead times are set up in the supplier settings, which is the main sort of source of setting up your lead times and supply and purchase order period. But with for whatever reason, there might be a SKU that doesn't apply to the supplier settings. You might set up a SKU specific lead time and purchase order period over here. Volume and weight, you see that we're taking the information from core. You might use that for purchasing if you need it. Predecessor gives the SKU a history of a different SKU. So this is useful when you have a new product and you're introducing that product to the market. It has no sales history, therefore it's very hard to forecast. Now, if that product is replacing an older product that was on the market, you just assign the older product to the new product, give it its history, and there you go. It continues on that path. Replenishment recommendations tell us how we're supposed to create the POs for this product. Now you see that it's all set up for automatic. And you can also use only replenishment using forecasts. You can use replenishment using minimum inventory or replenishment using customer orders, right? This is kind of a make to order sort of a setting. The automatic would automatically choose the best of those. Replenished by would tell you if the good is replenished by a supplier or by redistribution. So imagine that your SKU is in a warehouse that is actually a child warehouse, and all SKUs in that child warehouse are supposed to be supplied by the distribution center or any other warehouse. Now, there might be exceptions where those SKUs would be supplied directly from the supplier, in which case you would just put on supplier over here. Right, and that's it. There's ways to bulk upload. I mean, like if you have a lot of products, you can use the import button. It will start a guide that will show you how to do a bulk import. It's not that straightforward. Sometimes you might need help. Feel free to contact our support. They will help you set that up. And that's it. Right. So you also see that the Edit Arena has products and it has bundles. And when we talk about bundles, we really talk about bombs and bundles. We use the same word for it, but it really applies to production. So if you're setting up bundles and how the behavior is supposed to work for them, so this could also be called finished goods. You would have them over here. They would have the same settings as before, the same rules, the same tactics. Everything would be filtered, right? The same way, but at the end, over here, they have a production warehouse. And that defines in which warehouse from your structural warehouses is the place where the goods are assembled together, right? So you might have your raw materials that travel through 3 warehouses only before they reach the final destination where they're assembled into a product and only then sold. So that's the use case for selling that. Okay. I know it's been a lot of information, so feel free to contact us if anything is unclear, but this should give you a good start on using the Edit Arena. Good luck.